Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking specifically about the Spot Bitcoin ETFs being approved and what it could potentially mean for the price of crypto going forward from this point, even before the halving event in April. Let's get it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to pull up is the article that we talked about yesterday. By the time you guys see this video, it will be Thursday. We do content in advance sometimes because, our time unfortunately is limited. But it's all part of the process, so we're just kind of winging it at this point. So with that being said, um, the same article that we left in the description for you guys yesterday, we're going to actually dig into this a little bit deeper. So we showed you guys that these different ticker symbols here, which is, I believe, the ARK fund. I cannot remember off the top of my head what the HODL one is. FBTC is Fidelity. The BTCO, I believe, is Invesco, and then this one is Wisdom Tree. So let's talk specifically about the immediate effects and also the potential midterm and long-term effects that this is going to have on crypto going forward. Okay. So before I do that, I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin clock. So the first and foremost thing that I want you guys to keep in the back of your mind is the Bitcoin halving is coming. We have roughly about a 3.5 month wait period, so 102 days, according to this clock. Now, keep in mind, this is not exact. It could change, in a few days or a week. It depends on how quickly or slowly the Bitcoin gets mined. Keep in mind, a block is mined every 10 minutes. So I don't know the exact specifics of how Bitcoin is mined because I've never mined it myself. I've just mainly basically bought and sold it as a trader and investor. But this is the most important piece here because every time we have a halving, crypto moonshots, usually sometime after that, probably closer to the end of this year, I would say, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But with the Spot Bitcoin ETFs being at play, this could potentially change things up a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see. So first and foremost, basically, we have considerable amount of crypto at this point. It's quite a lot. I'm not going to say exactly how much, but it's probably more than you guys think it is. We have not showed you our entire portfolio yet, but at some point when the bull run really truly kicks off, if it hasn't started already, then we will show you guys everything that we have. But we have a considerable amount of. We've showed you basically all of the non-native crypto that we have, but we also have a considerable amount more in native crypto that we have not showed you. So our plan going forward is, unless we see a major pullback, and I do mean a major pullback, we're pretty much not going to buy any more crypto unless either the cryptocurrencies that we're looking at that are native or non-native still are at good prices, or we end up getting some kind of severe pullback that gives us a great dip buying opportunity. But it's a little early and a little premature to say if this is a buy the rumor, sell the news. As you guys can see, this we're making this video shortly after the previous one, so you guys can see that the native crypto that we have on our watch list is just absolutely shredding to the moon. You guys can see Zen is up 15%. Then you got ETH Classic up 23%. Jasmy's up 11%, which is not much, but considering it's only been a few hours since the SEC approved these things, that's a lot, I would say. Gala up 15%, Scale up 31%. It's absolutely massive. Wraps up 12%. Then you have some other big gainers like Bitcoin is up. It was just up at almost 48,000. It pulled back a little bit, but it was at 48,000. And you have ETH up a massive 11%. Litecoin, of course, up 5%. So tomorrow for the Grayscale funds, I'm expecting them to moonshot. Honestly, if this continues, I expect them to basically start shredding massively to the upside. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. But we really don't plan on buying any more crypto like this. If this continues to go up like this, we're just going to hold until we eventually get to the peak of the bull run. There is other crypto positions we could buy, like we could buy Bitcoin miner stocks. We could buy, there's literally thousands of native cryptocurrencies we could buy. We could buy the Grayscale ETFs. We could buy some of these Spot Bitcoin ETFs. So we're going to keep an eye out for opportunity. But in terms of what we currently hold, we're not going to add any more to that unless like I said, unless one of three things happen. Number one, we're buying a new crypto, and that new crypto is undervalued. And the reason why we would have to buy a new one is because all the ones that we hold currently would be in the money, so to speak. The number two reason would be that we would buy is because everything dipped massively and we're getting a great dip buying opportunity. And number three would be because basically because whatever we're buying has gone up or stayed flat or gone down, but regardless, it's below our overall cost basis for that position. So now let's talk about the immediate short term and what I think is going to happen. I do think, as you guys can see here, that crypto is going to continue to rip. I think in the coming days and maybe even in the coming weeks, it's going to continue to rip. As you guys can see, we're up 6% on the overall crypto market cap here. Just absolutely ridiculous, ridiculous gains coming out of the gate already, as you guys can see here. Some serious moves to the upside. And I mean, 30% is a decent move for crypto, but it's not like eye-popping, face-melting gains. I mean, if you guys haven't been in crypto before, you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say this, but we're talking like 5, 10x's in a single day or a week, okay? Just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous gains. But as you guys can see, it's already starting to play out. So for the immediate short term, and I say immediate, I'm talking days or weeks, we are expecting crypto to go up. In the midterm, over the next few months, it's really hard to say. The Fed cuts are coming around the corner. We still think it's going to be March. All the Fed members are kind of still in disagreement about this, but we're pretty confident it's going to be March of this year that they're going to start cutting. When the yield curve inverts, that could cause everything to dump. We've told you this before, but again, we don't think that's going to happen because it got priced in last year, in our opinion. But we'll just have to wait and see. We're given a higher probability to the markets staying flat or going up during the rate cuts. But there could be a potential historical buying opportunity where crypto could dump 40, 50%. But again, we don't think that's going to happen. We see it as kind of neutral and or bullish in the midterm. And as for the long term, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I mean, the Bitcoin halving is coming up. I mean, all this institutional money is coming in. Yeah, sure, that's great. But the spot Bitcoin ETFs are not fully going to play out for probably years to come. Okay, this is not something that's going to happen immediately overnight. You're not going to see a $30 trillion market cap within a couple of days. That's not going to happen in crypto. Because the reality is these companies have to go out there and sell their Bitcoin spot ETFs to people, and people have to be willing to buy them. If they're not willing to buy them, then the money is just simply not going to flow in. Will it flow in? I do think so, but I mean, you're talking trillions of dollars right out of the gate within a few days. I highly doubt it. These things take time. So long term, bull run still set for the end of the year to roughly about the start to, I would say, middle, maybe end of next year. Nothing's changed on that front. We kind of told you our plans and what we plan on doing. We don't plan on selling LTCN. We'll just basically add more if it gets below our cost basis. But at this point, with the spot Bitcoin ETFs having been approved, really highly doubt that's going to happen. Really, really highly doubt that's going to happen. Not a guarantee, but I would say it's a very low probability at this point that we're going to get the macro bottom support levels on any of these grayscale ETFs at this point. Now, a common theme that's going around is a lot of people are saying, well, now that they approved a spot Bitcoin ETF, they should, like the grayscale ETFs, they should convert all those to spot ETFs. No, I don't think they should, honestly. Look, when it comes to traditional markets, the SEC, let's think about this for a second, okay? The SEC took 8 years from the time that Gemini, I believe it was Gemini, initially filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF. I'm sorry, 9 years. Well, no, actually at this point, 10 years. They initially filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF. They were the first back in 2014. The spot Bitcoin ETFs got rejected by multiple SEC chairs over the course of a decade, okay? It took 10 years for them to approve the spot Bitcoin ETFs just to approve Bitcoin, okay? And Bitcoin has had to go through hell and high water, multiple bear and bull markets, and now It went through a pandemic and it went through a massive bear market last year, and now it's dealing with Fed rate hikes and cuts. Okay, Bitcoin has been through hell and high water. And it took 10 years for the regulators to say, okay, you know what, now we're actually going to approve one. So do I think that they're going to approve anything besides a spot Bitcoin ETF in terms of approving a spot ETF for other things like Ethereum, Litecoin, any other altcoin besides Bitcoin? Absolutely not. I do not. At least not this cycle. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of the money that these multi-trillion dollar companies like BlackRock and ARK and Fidelity and maybe in Vanguard at some point, we'll see, that they're going to put into the spot Bitcoin ETFs. This is retiree money. Okay. A lot of these people are very wealthy, but a lot of these people also have pension funds and 401ks and retirement funds that they need to live off of in old age, and we have not gotten to the point yet where science has advanced enough to where we can live for hundreds of years and turn back the clock on biological aging and disease. It just has not happened yet. So a lot of these massive firms, they're not stupid. Okay, they know that their clients are going to be skeptical because they're in their 60s, 70s, and 80s and whatnot, and they depend on this money in retirement. So they're going to be very conservative. Okay, they might recommend like a 1, 2, 3% allocation, a very small allocation of the spot Bitcoin ETF into the retirement portfolio. This is something to keep in mind. Okay, so this is going to be a slow, gradual process. In my opinion, it is bullish for crypto, I do think, but it's going to take time for it to fully play out. Okay, I mean, they'll make sales and they'll gradually grow crypto in the traditional finance space. But when you think about it from like a retiree's perspective, retirees are not going to put 100% of their money into the spot Bitcoin ETF. They're just not going to do it. They're going to want like a small allocation to get some exposure, if they do at all. But traditional finance has been around for centuries. Okay, Bitcoin itself and crypto has only been around for a decade. So these people are going to be a little cautious, even with the approval, to put all of their money in, but put anything more than a very, very tiny percentage. With that being said, I do think at this point that the overall crypto market cap hitting $10 to $15 trillion by the end of this next bull cycle, I do absolutely 100% think that is possible and even likely by the end of this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run. So this is our thoughts and our plans with the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Let us know your comments down below. Hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see y'all later. Peace.